We are so welcome. We are so glad you are here. My name is Bonni Pomush. It's my honor to serve Working Wardrobes as our CEO, and I am joined here by two all-star teammates. Bianca Herrera is our Career Services Manager, and Michael Barrett is our Director of Client Services. I am with the greats today, so glad that you could join us. We are here to talk about a few things and really to give you a little bit more of the scoop about what is going on to change the world here at Working Wardrobes. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what we accomplished in 2022, which was a lot, and a little bit about the how. We are also going to talk about our goal of serving 5,000 clients in 2023 and how we plan on achieving that monumental feat this year. And last, we're going to share with you, our amazing supporters and viewers, how you can help and join in this effort to empower people, helping them overcome barriers to gainful employment. So with no further ado, Michael, if you don't mind, I'd like to put you on the spot a little bit and ask, will you share with us, you have an incredible team that you lead that is every day working one-on-one, side by side with these incredible souls that have vulnerably and with just a lot of trust invited us into their lives to help uplift and unleash the power they have within them. Would you share with us a story about one of the clients we have helped recently?
Yeah, absolutely, Bonni. It certainly is an honor and privilege to be a servant leader of this amazing team. And this story really depicts the efforts that they present every day, what they bring to the table. So without further ado, the Working Wardrobes Client Services team would like to celebrate the success of one of our Rebuilding Careers veteran clients, U.S. Army veteran Josie B. Josie has a bachelor's degree in business with a minor in human resources and served 15 honorable years in the United States Army. Wow. Even with education, professional skills, and attributes gained from military service, she was finding it exceedingly difficult to obtain employment. Josie was experiencing several barriers while navigating her path to employment, such as housing insecurity and a lack of safe and reliable childcare for her son presented everyday challenges. Yeah. Our Working Wardrobes Client Services team put together an individualized employment and support plan with attainable and achievable goals so that Josie could receive the necessary support and resources to overcome all challenges and barriers confidently and successfully. Immediately connecting Josie to our community partners at Volunteers of America, VOA, SSVF, to address all housing issues successfully to prevent she and her son from becoming homeless. With this major barrier removed, Josie was all in focused on her individualized employment plan goals, and her dedication was something to emulate. Working closely with her career navigation team and coaches, she created a powerful new resume, learned new job search strategies, and attended job fair events with the intent to find meaningful employment to earn a livable wage for her and her son.
Yes, please.
Josie's hard work paid off when she was introduced to one of our community partners, Rocio Palmero, from Women Vets on Point, a component of and under US Vets, a community partner. Mm-hmm. The connection led to an interview and she was hired on the spot. And this is great. Rocio from Women's Vets on Point put it best when she shared, "Everyone on the team adores Josie," in all caps. "Why did it take you so long to send her to us?"
Where has Josie been all of our lives?
Exactly. Josie is thriving in her new position as a case manager. She is powerfully positioned and can leverage her own shared experience to positively support fellow veterans in need, paying it forward so that others can succeed just as she did.
Oh, Michael, that's incredible. Josie, I'm so happy for you. And I love that this particular experience really also showcases how we cannot do this work alone, that we depend on an infrastructure of people and a network of nonprofits and others who have different expertise and offerings to share. And look at Josie. Where has she been? Here she has finally come. Oh, and I'm so glad we were able to share that picture of her too. That was really beautiful.
And that was Rocio, by the way, her new boss, right next to her, live and in person, also a veteran, United States Navy, and she is a rock star in the community. Goodness. yeah, we love working with her and her team.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Michael, you too are a veteran, and I am so grateful for your service, for Josie's, for Rosia's, for this incredible gift to our community that you give from yourselves. So thank you so much for highlighting Josie's experience. She is one person, one experience that you shared. And what is kind of mind-blowing is that we create those kinds of transformations for hundreds and literally thousands of people every year. In 2022, we were able to successfully help 4,420 souls transform. It's incredible. And I'd love to hear a little bit, if you don't mind, who are these people? You shared with me about Josie. So, you shared a little bit about her demographics, right? She's a veteran. These pieces, we often break down some of the folks that we have the honor to serve by these sort of targeted outreach populations. So do you mind giving me a little bit of breakdown from 2022? Who did we serve?
So, the demographics that we are so privileged and honored to be of service in our community, as stated, are veterans, and that includes, very importantly, the family, partner, spouse, and working age children from all groups that we serve. But veterans justice impacted from either jail or prison, seniors, 55 plus, working age adults, and young adults. We are certainly making a significant impact in our community, and we did so in 2022. And if I can, I'll give you some number breakdown collectively by way of populations that our collective team across the organization is responsible for. So let's look at the adults. 3,785 adults, 386 veterans served, 44 justice impacted, 84 seniors, and 121 youths. Talking about an impact made in such a diverse population across our community made in just a year's time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just a celebration to the organization, our amazing, resilient team. And these numbers really speak to the collective impact that our team, our organization makes every day in our community.
What are the services that these people are experiencing? I know we offer so many opportunities. Part of it is obviously the navigation piece. You described this with Josie's story, right? Connecting, first identifying what part is in crisis, what barrier do we need to immediately overcome before we can hit those long-term goals. And I know part of that is the career navigation. Of course, there's the upskilling. And I know, Bianca, we're going to talk more about that in a minute, but the workshops, the certifications, all the things. I mean, just give me a little bit of a breakdown of all the services we provide, sort of maybe what percentages, let's say, of the clients we serve engaged in each one.
So, again, amongst the populations we serve, we're looking at about 24% across career development, 19% are receiving and recipients of workshops, and specifically that align with their industry and path to career success. 21%, the career navigation, 37% receiving that success suit, looking good, feeling good, seated before that future employer. And just making it very easy to say, stop talking, I want to hire you. You will add to our bottom line.
I got to stop you there for a second, because I think that is probably not a, if you missed that number, I want to repeat it. You said, I think 37% received wardrobing services. And I think that is probably not what people think when they think about working wardrobes. I think people think 100% of the people we are helping receive wardrobing services. And yet that is the cherry on top. It is the last piece of a pie, right? You shared that there was almost 25% of the people that we are helping are receiving what Bianca's team is creating, which is that upskilling, the workshops, the certifications, the pieces that are what I like to think of as intellectual property, right? The stuff that you take with you and it does not fit in a box, it will never leave, right? That's pretty amazing. And 19% was workshops in particular, right? So the coaching and the development side paired up with that skill set. That's incredible. Thank you.
It is. No, absolutely. Thank you. I just to capture that component of service that you stated so well, wardrobe. It's not who we are and not only what we do, but that cherry on top, that professional wardrobe session is ensuring that we're making sure the outside is matching all of the work that we're doing on the inside collectively as a team. And it's just, it's fantastic to see, honestly, where we're doing it an hour and a half ago here for a gentleman that's got an interview coming up this week. So
Oh, I love
I mean,
it.
it's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I think every time I see a client, there's a before and an after that happens when they literally begin the process of, just seeking this hand up, right? And then there's this development that happens. And then there's like a whole other reset when you see them come into wardrobing and put on that suit, standing tall and proud. It's pretty amazing.
It is. It certainly is.
Well, I got to see firsthand pretty much all the things that you just described us doing in one day at one location at one event. We host a couple of times a year these Power Up for Success events. They are hosted on military base, and we help about 100 people in one day have the workshop, the wardrobing, the career panel, where that's a bit of that coaching that we do typically one-on-one with clients that we're able to do in a group setting. And that's kind of like speed dating, right? We're giving them speed working wardrobes in a day. And these career panels really offering this is what I've experienced, asking the ability to ask and answer those difficult questions. It was incredible to me that in one day you could see all of that. Were there other successes that stood out to you at this event?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. One, working wardrobes being able to deploy its programs and services, essentially lift the building and everything and all of us in it down to Camp Pendleton to serve.
A great way to say
transitioning. I mean, put that in perspective. One, it takes a lot. It's logistically challenging and heavy, but we deploy our services aboard the base in honor of those that are serving and defending the freedom of our country. And we do it in a single day of service. And like you said, an opportunity to touch the souls of around 100 service members. And we did that just a few weeks ago in April. And what's fantastic to point out from it is we had attendees from 31 different commands and units from across Camp Pendleton.
Wow,
now, I don't know if
31.
anybody knows how big Camp Pendleton is. Google it. It's kind of big, right? But 31 different commands. That is a very, very large footprint. And, even more so, we've had attendees ranging from first term, I'm in my first 4 years, and then I've decided to exit, to retirement eligible staff, non-commissioned officers, and officers themselves, retirement eligible, 20 plus years. This to date, a huge fun fact, right?
Okay.
Our most diverse collective group to date. And it was just simply amazing to have battalion commander, 05s, all the way down to, the backbone of the Marine Corps, where those NCOs are in there, and that collective group from high ranking to mid-grade to NCO, collectively working in one setting together, just as much as they're going to out here in the civilian sector when they get out. And it was just fantastic to see that. And I got to give a big shout out to the 1st Marine Logistics Group. The 1st MLG, the command, its leadership across the board has been phenomenal. And we couldn't have pulled off such a successful event without their devotion, their dedication, and their undying support of our organization and mission. Yeah, big salute to them.
Well, Michael, that's again, this sort of evidence of it takes all of us. It takes partnership. It takes each of us owning our ability and our power to make a difference in the world, to contribute it. Oh, goodness, giving me the feels. It was an incredible event, and I'm grateful for that partnership so much so. And thank you for highlighting a bit of it. We've also started some new partnerships this year. You want to share a little bit about some of the new members of the Working Wardrobes family?
Absolutely. I'd love to point this out. It's a new, it's going to BSCC, what does that mean? It's the Board of State and Community Corrections. And I'm just going to give you, I'll read through this, and this will give you an idea of what it is and what we're going to do, and most importantly, who we do it for.
Okay.
Right. The Reentry to Success Project will provide warm handoff and reentry services to assist people transitioning from state prison to address their immediate post-release needs, gain workforce readiness and occupational skills, find and maintain employment, achieve self-sufficiency and success, and avoid recidivism. It's fantastic that we're positioned to have an opportunity to be of service to this population. And I feel by doing so, we're making a positive impact as an organization in our own backyard and doing our part to break a cycle, reduce recidivism, make positive and professional change, and most importantly, encourage those that, sure, You may have been on a different path and made some mistakes. We're not here to judge you for that. We're going to empower you. We're going to train you. We're going to assist you, and you're going to leave incredibly self-sufficient and feeling 100% supported and confident as you begin new chapters in life. And we're super excited to work with the state of California and be of service to this population. It's fantastic.
Second chances, I mean, sometimes they feel rare. And it's pretty amazing to think about. Again, I'm thinking about Josie, right? And there's a lot of parallels, I think, between our military and people who are justice impacted. And that transition is a significant one. So to, again, be in that space with people who are vulnerable and trusting us to help guide them is incredible. And I think you're spot on, Michael, that one individual at a time is lifting our entire community. So amazing to partner with the state and with individuals on that road. Absolutely. And that's not the only one, is it?
It's not. I'd love to mention this as well. Thank you. Is, Theo Lacey Jail is right here in our own backyard. It's Orange County. And I'll put this out there, led by our client services team, tip of the spear, of course. Career coaches, volunteers, rock stars in themselves, their own right. Absolutely. We love them to death, right? So we have Miss D. Thomas, big salute to you, right? And we've got our very own Adrian De La Riva, our career navigator, that are going into Theo Lacey, serving the TAPE program, right? Transitional age youth. And they're conducting an in-service, in the jail, a 6-week workforce readiness program, like I said, in service of the TAPE program at Theo Lacey. And we're going to continue to serve them. It doesn't stop when we ourselves, the instructors, the facilitators, leave the jail setting. No, we're welcoming them. As soon as they're finished there, we're still going to be here. And we're going to bring them here to our Career Success Center. And we're going to leverage our strengths with our client services, career development side of the house and team, and continue to serve them. And again, doing our part, just as the aforementioned, for those that are imprisoned, and making that positive impact here in our own community.
Beautiful. I love that too, Michael. You always talk about how we meet people where they are, and that can be figurative, but it can also be very literal. And this is a literal example where we are meeting people where they are, and figuratively, when we are there, we are meeting them where they are. It's incredible. These are, examples of how you are describing this navigation. And we should probably dive a little bit deeper into that, because there's really sort of two, it's like two hands, right? There's two hands that we're wrapping around people, and the two hands are this career development and career navigation. Just would love to hear a little bit more about how you have developed this system to be effective and efficient, and to really be the way that we are able to help people best.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to cover the career navigation, and my amazing colleague is going to cover the career development side, if you're okay with that, Bianca.
Sure,
so we look at the career navigation component, the right hand or left hand, right? Bringing them in, meeting them where they are, usually starting in the community, and then bringing them into the fold that is Working Wardrobes. Our organization at one point in time was really program specific, but I love that we're a pretty talented group of leaders and a resilient group here. We've made some very strategic moves as a team, and we have a career navigation team that I love saying every single day, anywhere I am, that anybody that walks through our door, our collective team, regardless of your background, regardless of where you're coming from in life, whether you were in jail or you came out of the military, or you're looking to upskill or what have you, our teammates in the career navigation side of the house are ready to welcome you. And we're not siloed, which I think that's really, it's empowered the team. It's allowing our teammates and team collectively to grow professionally. Right. And I love that, right? So we're really putting our best foot forward in that regard on the career navigation side, and putting together some solidified plans that are transitioning from the navigation over to the career development side. So I'll transition to my partner here, and if you'd like to share. Or
butt in right before you do that. Well, I think that what you're touching on is incredible, right? Because when you think about, I'm going to say case management, right? Because I think that's terminology that most people are aware of outside of workforce development, right? You're managing a caseload. And as a case manager, what we are referring to as career navigators, because that is our focus, career navigation. You having a caseload that is diverse and having a caseload of individuals does two things, I think, and I'm sure there's many more, but one of them is that you really become in the mindset of spectrum, diversity, inclusivity. You're not thinking about just this particular thing we all have in common, but instead you're really focused on the individualization. And this is what I have to say is one of my most proud things about working wardrobes, is that everything we do is with really two focus in mind. One is individualization and the other is dignity. And both of those are accomplished in this model where the people you are serving look, act, have different experiences, have different barriers to overcome. But the thing that is in common is that they are all humans, and all humans deserve to be treated with dignity. And then the other piece it does is it fosters more collaboration within self and within the team, right? Because if I don't know what the resource is or what is best for this client, it encourages me individually to connect with my teammates and colleagues to find out what can I do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm so delighted that we've talked. Thank you so much. And yes, now I'm done butting in. To the career development side though, right? So this is the other arm that we're wrapping around our clients. What is that all about?
What does that
Bianca?
look like?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So ideally, we take a look at what the support and the level of need is for that client, right? So once the navigators have able to make that assessment and figure out how can we best support you, what are the steps of your career journey that we can help you grow within, we connect them with our career coaches, which is really the heart of the development piece of what we do. And we're thrilled to have now 12 coaches. We've added 5 coaches just at the beginning of this year. So in this first quarter, we're at 5 coaches, and they all have a unique expertise. We've had some longstanding coaches who've been with us for 10 plus years, which is fantastic. They've stuck through us during the pandemic and learned how to continue to provide service, and done that one-on-one via Zoom and in person. And then we've added some additional volunteers who are still actively working in the space, which we think also is great because they come with a very recent, like current view of what employers are looking for. So they provide a great perspective. We also have been fortunate enough to have a diverse group of representation from different industries, right? So they each all have their expertise and their lens that they're looking at this with. So that's been great. And they connect with them to do one of several services, but typically can start with a career assessment, which is, what do I want to do? What am I good at? How do I look inward to figure that out? Maybe how do I take those skills I've learned in the military, for example, and transition them? Or maybe it's been many years that I haven't had a job. How do I transition into something? So we can spend some time on that and use some tools that we have to be able to do that, right? Some career assessment tools that help us do that. And then it's about identifying and learning about the resume. How do we get that in order with the navigators and the coaches, right? What does that look like? We see and know that is changing in the world of technology today. So we have to think through, it's no longer what it was once, where you could kind of just design it however you want and you're physically giving it to somebody. It's going through a system. It needs to kind of get through the process. So we make sure that we're doing that in a way that it's going to show the most results for the clients. And then helping them learn how to talk about themselves in a way, right? Self-promotion is really one of the biggest challenges for some of our clients, for most of us, really. I mean, just learning how learning how to speak positively about ourselves. And so there's a lot of practice around mock interviews, job searching. It's like a great abyss out there, right? And it's trying to figure out, well, here's how you start, or here's where to go. They just continue that navigation and providing them again with the tools, with workshops and things like that. So
it's amazing to me because as you're saying that, I'm thinking to myself about, I'm guessing that oftentimes you are opening like the curtains to a whole new scene for someone, where it's like, I had no idea that was even something that I was capable of, a possibility for me to pursue. And then the pieces with AI and the resumes and how you're really having to tailor this, the self-promotion and then in a computer-friendly, ready way.
Right.
Is pretty amazing. And I think a lot of people probably don't understand like the wizardry behind all
Sure.
of that. So
Yeah.
the fact that you and the coaches are able to really break that down into a way that it is achievable.
Achievable, right,
Mhm.
right. And it helps answer a lot of questions for them sometimes of why am I not hearing back? And I feel like, you know, there's this ghosted mentality and that kind of leads into just exhaustion, right? You've got this fatigue and part of it is it's just making sure that your format and the tools that you have are going to get you seen, right? Get you through the door. And that's really just helps them also understand. I mean, part of what we're trying to do here is teach them how to do these skills. So it's a lot of not just doing for, but education around the why we're doing this and what this means so that they can go and continue to do that moving forward on their own.
Bianca, I think we have to like highlighter, underscore, bold what you just said, because this, you know, there's this concept people say like, you know, teaching a man to fish.
Right.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to teach you so that when I'm not standing here right next to you, you can do this. And it's not for just this job right now,
Sure.
but a lifelong intellectual property skill that you're going to have forever.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for explaining that. You started to touch on this a little, Bianca, so I want to go a little deeper. And Michael, feel free to chime in. What are like some of the, you know, current issues? You know, you're talking about these pieces with how resumes are screened, and that's where I'm kind of going with this. But you know, what are we seeing? What are some of the trends we're seeing, and what are we doing about it?
Wow, I got quite a few things to share. I mean, I could, but it covers a lot. But you know, maybe we'll break it into a couple different categories.
Okay.
You know, I recently looked at the April LMI, the labor market information. You know, what are we looking at as far as unemployment rate in Orange County? It was 3.4% in March. It's unchanged and revised 3.4% from February. So no change there. But over a year ago, it was an estimated at 3.3%. You know, this compares with an adjusted unemployment rate of 4.8% for California and 3.6% for the nation. So the unemployment is a little bit of ebb and flow. A percentage has fluctuated up and down quite a bit. We certainly see it and feel it here at home. We see it in our own backyard. And one of the major factors that I'm going to jump right into is, you know, cost of living. Cost of living really impacts, you know, one's ability to not only find but sustain gainful employment. I have some staggering things that I discovered here. Not surprising for those of us that live here every day, but Orange County, California's cost of living, 51% higher than the national average.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
it's a beautiful place to live, but I mean, yeah, it's expensive.
You know, I jokingly, it's probably not a joke, but it's sunshine tax, right? We all pay, right? Like
on a rainy day, we're talking about the sunshine tax.
So you look at with the exception of healthcare and utilities, which were really borderline to the national average. Healthcare was like negative 1% from the net average, and utilities 8%. Housing 157%. Median home price 1.2 million. Monthly rent $3,500. Right. Groceries 11%. This is all above the national average. Transportation plus 29%. Staggering. All categories by percentage higher than the national average.
You cannot afford these things with a minimum wage job. Like this is not sustainable.
It's not. You know, in a month ago today, the OC Register reported $90,000 for a family of 4 is the threshold that we're approaching. And by approaching, we're there. $90,000 for a family of 4.
For basic expense.
Basic stuff. Orange County family of 4 is considered low income if their earning is $87,450. Or less. You're in a threshold of low income. And that's, I mean, there's a couple other things here just to point out. California ranks prominently amongst US metros for having some of the highest low income thresholds in the nation. 6 of the 11 lowest income limits are right here in the Golden State. That's, we need to do better there. Average annual household income, you know, some of the aforementioned there is 142 plus K, right, for on average, while the median household income is over 108,000 per year. That's staggering, but a family of 4 with 2 working age adults is needed to make at least $22 or more an hour just to sustain or have and enjoy some level of suitable living conditions. for themselves and their family, whatever that consists of.
Yeah.
And, that cost of living component is probably the number one thing that we see as a challenge and or a barrier with the majority of the clients that we're currently serving.
I mean, you were just talking about it when you were sharing Josie's story with us, right? I mean, the first issue, like housing and childcare, right? Like this is, it's too familiar. And I think you're right, Michael, we could do better.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. I mean, I could get into it as well. I got a lot here, but I'll take everybody's day if you let me. But, what do we,
You will.
I will, I promise. My number, no, I'm just kidding. But professional and business services decline. Let's get into a little bit of the job stuff. That's our niche. That's what we do well.
Yes.
But what are we seeing? What are some of our trends, right? We're seeing professional and business services decline by 1,300 jobs, the largest decrease of any sector, right? 77% of the decline was in the professional, scientific, and technical and administrative and support waste management remediation services was also down. Management companies and enterprises remain unchanged. But employment dropped in 4 other sectors. Financial activities down 1,200 jobs. Utilities down 900 jobs. Manufacturing down 200 jobs. Leisure and hospitality, here's a plus, added 1,600 jobs. That's great.
Low wage paying jobs.
Right. So you're looking entry level, low wage, not sustainable living.
Sorry, I get angry.
So, no, we're right there with you. But that was the most of any sector, obviously, in leisure. And, other industries with payroll increases, including government, construction, information, private education, and health services. So again, this speaks to that ebb and flow of the percentage of, the unemployment, the cost of living and the challenges we certainly see. But well stated, Bianca, and, how we position ourselves both on the career navigation and the career development side, we're able to still positively impact some of these mentioned negative areas right here in our own home, in our backyard, for those that we're so honored and privileged to serve. So,
but you often talk about this where you'll share that, sometimes we got to get someone a job for right now so that they can get the income started and get it rolling. But you just shared the data. It's not going to be enough if it's under 22 an hour to sustain your just housing and transportation and groceries.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the clients are working multiple jobs, obviously for some of that, but our message is albeit very positive, is let's achieve gainful employment. That might not be that career that I want to get into, but you have a job. Let's add some prosperity into your life. Let's get that coin in your pocket for you and possibly your family dynamic. And let's continue to positively navigate to the goals that we've set with our career coaches and our teammates to get you to where you need to be to become self-sufficient every single day.
Totally.
And that's the work we put in every day.
Totally. I think that's kind of what you're saying, right? That's what we're doing about it.
Right.
We're helping get people. And, I think gainful employment is maybe some terminology that may not be familiar to everyone. So I just want to call it out a little bit. I'm sure you could probably Google this now that I'm bringing it up. But gainful employment is about this cost of living and addressing you're able to sustain your own living, right? That's one piece of it. But it's also the stability piece, right? Knowing that I have a stable income. It's not I'm thinking about the gig economy and, actually, I'm also thinking about the writer's strike and, that you may have not stable sources of income. You need to know that you can count on it. You can make your rent check. And then the other piece of gainful employment is like sort of this psychological piece that you're talking about, which is that I am advancing, I am growing, I'm learning and developing, I'm contributing. So gainful employment is really, and I'm just touching on a few pieces of it, right? But it's this really, again, kind of like our wraparound services. It's a holistic look at employment. It's not just a job.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Bianca, I want to talk more about the solutions because the data is it's not delightful data, but
You're welcome.
yes, I do appreciate you sharing that though, Michael. And I think we all know that there's a need, but there's sometimes this there's a bit of dissonance about, there's a low unemployment number, but when you really dive into it, there's a big problem. And the problem you identified the root of is the cost of living is so high. And what is the solution then? Well, here we are. So Bianca,
Yes.
to that
What are we doing
solution,
about it,
please.
right,
Yes.
so one of the things that we're excited to be working on certainly this year. And what I think has worked well for us so far is continuing that concept of, a unique plan for each person, right? And developing skills that we think can take them, transferable skills that can take them to any job that they're looking for, right? So something like a customer service certification training, where regardless, again, if we know that the job today is a lot of jobs that require customer service experience or a skill set, is that's the job that's going to help stabilize you while you're continuing to develop your skills. Then we can provide that training. It's a 3-day training. It's a certification training through the National Retail Federation. They get to take a test. That test is, yes, I am certified to go through this, and it helps them to feel like they are developing themselves, right? Even if they're saying, I'm not sure if I want to go work in a retail store per se, but now I know how to talk to people. Now I feel more comfortable, handling difficult situations, and I can sort of speak positively about that. And that's what we're looking for, that along with some of the other certifications that are industry specific. I think that's key for us to be able to work with our clients on things that they're interested in learning about, right? And that has sometimes been a barrier of, I want to work here, but I need this certification and I can't afford, or I don't know how to get that. And we help bridge that gap for them, which is fantastic, right?
Well, it's also amazing that you're staying on top of these trends and understanding what a variety, again, we're back to the spectrum, right? But the variety of employers, what are a lot of them saying they need, so that we can develop and provide curriculum and certifications and trainings that are, obviously useful in a lot of different industries. But also, I love this piece about what you're describing, which is that evolution of one's career and taking it with you through that too. That's incredible.
Right. And I think if we focus on these soft skills, because we work with such a diverse population of age and other things that categorize folks into where they're at in their lives, I feel like that is, if we focus on that, it can be anyone, right? So if we talk about the skills that you're good at and how to speak positively about yourself, that's all going to take you across any industry. And I think so that is a key core focus for you. We may not be able to pay for all of the education that you need or what have. We can develop a plan for you and point you in the right direction. But what we can certainly do is connect people with the skills to just, again, speak positively and build that confidence.
I think you're really tapping again into the psychology of this, and that is that most of the people that I'm thinking about ourselves, and I shouldn't even exclude myself from this, but I'm going to talk about the people we have the honor of serving often have gone through something, right? There was something that, like an incident, an experience that has changed a bit of their trajectory.
Right.
And typically that experience, that incident is not a confidence builder. It is a confidence breaker and a self-esteem reducer. And the idea that you have said multiple times today, which is we help you learn not only what is amazing about yourself, but how to talk about it and share it and unabashedly, right? That's a hard skill.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, God, I wish I had learned that as a child or as a younger person. And then I'm a little bit jealous because you're doing that with younger people.
Yes.
Tell us about what you're doing with the youth.
Yes, this has been such an amazing year, and we've always had some connection working with young adults, but this year it's sort of exploded, and in a really positive way. We've had some great partnerships with the Orange County Department of Education. And in years past, we worked with their Title I programs, alternative education programs, typically where and students are working on their diploma, and maybe the traditional school setting isn't the right path for them. And we do what we call a career success week. So a career success week looks like us going into the schools for 3 days and talking about, we have a program called Skills That Pay the Bills. So it's,
I love the name,
developing you've got skills. What are they? Let's talk about them. Let's identify them. That's day one. The day two is, how are you going to write about them. So we introduce them to what a resume is, and we spend specific time on the part that is the most difficult, which is your professional summary or your objective, right? What is it? The I call it the trailer of your movie, right? And the whole thing is about telling this, learning how to tell the story of you through this professional development. And then they learn about, how job searching skills and interview skills. They learn how to write an elevator pitch and practice that. And again, the parts that today's youth we're finding is so challenging because they aren't having that one-on-one interaction. They're having a technical interaction, right?
Yeah.
So, and then already working with the population who has had those challenges, and maybe there is a level of mistrust that they have had, and they are, so to see them grow through that has been great success. Then they get to come here, and we get to partner them with community partners and volunteers to practice mock interviews with them. And they get to experience that wonderful wardrobing program that we've talked so much about. And you see the transformation from the first day we go in there, and they're oftentimes, in a baggy sweater, they've got their hoodie on, and maybe their hoodie is like their security blanket in a lot of ways, and it's up, and they're still kind of like not making a lot of eye contact. They're not sure what this is all about. And then success to them is just being able to get there each time. And then you see them writing first. So they feel more comfortable being able to write their own story first, but maybe not share it. By day 2 or 3, they're now more comfortable sharing it, right? Saying it out loud. And then by that 4th day, they're able to interact with a stranger, which is essentially the interview process.
Right.
And be able to get some real great feedback in a safe space. So that program has now sort of turned into a huge, I think, success, in that we're able to reach, just in that one program, 5 sites this year, but also connected to other alternative education programs like the Youth Guidance Center, which is at the Juvenile Hall, also the Career Planning Center, the other community partners that are doing a similar alternative education programs. So that's been fantastic. Our other partnership in the young adult space is through California for All, which is a partnership that we have made with the City of Santa Ana's Work Center, and the Conservation Corps, and they have commissioned us to do a series of trainings. So we're working with them through next spring to reach up to 280 students. And these are young adults between 16 and 30. It's amazing. Young adults are 30. To 30 now.
It doesn't get old.
But it is a youth experience program. So a great opportunity for youth to work. So they get paid work experience at one of 35 sites throughout the area. They can work at the zoo. They can work at the police department, the library, but they can also work at department stores and all kinds of other locations. And we get to provide the workforce readiness training. So 15 hours of training, and including the 4 topics I talked about that we do in the Career Success Week, but also navigating a new workplace. Hey, you got a job. How do you deal with that? What are the expectations of that job? What's it going to be like as the newest? Now we have 5 generations of people in the workforce
At the same time.
Right? And you are the newest one. How are you going to manage, right? And communicate, and what are those expectations of you? So we talk about that. A key one, the first time most people have ever heard about harassment prevention training. So what is appropriate, inappropriate behavior at work? And I mean, we know we're going to be hearing that for the rest of your working days, but first time for them and what to expect. And then the wardrobing piece. So so that whole community, that whole partnership has been fantastic. And there's some other smaller workshops we've been able to do with community partners like Big Brothers Big Sisters and the Santa Ana College and that kind of thing. But already in Q1, we've done 51 workshops.
51 in 3 months.
In 3 months. I don't know how I've been doing it, but
Clearly you're not sleeping. You're just
but yeah, it's been amazing. So and that's reaching over 400 students. So it's in a short amount of time, we've already been far passing what we've done last year, and super excited to
I was
continue.
just saying, I just wanted to hear that number again, because I think you said almost 400, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty
400.
sure.
We're over 400 of like individuals that have attended these workshops. So
Yeah, that's 4 times as many youth
right.
as last year.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
amazing.
it's already, it is pretty amazing. We're excited, and it's continuing. If the word is spreading like wildfire, which we love, and just being able to do a piece of that. So
Yeah.
we're really fortunate to be able to have those partnerships.
It's also, I think, such a systemic, intergenerational solution, right? And we're talking about helping marginalized people and communities get closer to an even playing field. And the sort of social justice, plight is definitely in your park. I mean, you're hitting home runs.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Really.
It's been fantastic, I think, and because we've been able to see kids who also, they have dreams, right? Maybe they haven't had the permission to talk about them, or maybe they haven't even had the permission to really dream them out loud. But when you see what they write and be able to know that they are, that there are good stuff that they want to work on and do and dream about, that's what's really exciting, right? It's just being able to give them that confidence. And that really it's going back to the confidence piece.
There's another workshop that you launched this year that was really about this, you use the word self-promotion, but I think that the root is deeper. I mean, it's what you just said, right? It's about knowing myself and feeling more confident about that. Would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we were introduced to a Google initiative called I Am Remarkable, and it's an opportunity for really designed to help women and marginalized populations be who didn't always have the voice in the workplace to brag about themselves, to talk positively about the work they were doing in the workplace, specifically around times of promotion and being able to move up in their position. So the workshop it gives you the tools really to say, let's talk through what you're again good at. Why are you remarkable? How do you identify that? And whether that's quantitative and qualitative at work or just in life, to be able to say, here's why I'm good, and it's okay to say it out loud. And we've actually been sort of including some of that terminology in the workspace with the students to be able to start early and say, this is it's okay to brag about yourself, and it's actually important that you do, right? And that
absolutely
in a way that, because people want to hear the good things about you, because otherwise how will they know? Right. And so that initiative has really been a special one that we all got to contribute to. That's one of those topics that it's not just clients, but staff participate in as well, which is great.
It's also cool that I'm thinking about like the multiple uses of that and how it's so transferable. You gave us some examples, but it could be for asking, or obtaining a promotion, a raise, another job, a relationship. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that could be used to know yourself and advocate for yourself. It's incredible. Bianca, that is just one of many examples of how you mine resources from the community and you really identify what are the needs across all these industries that we can address. I know you mentioned the customer service and the certification piece. I'm guessing that you probably are open to, if your company has, or you're seeing industry-wide a specific gap in knowledge, that you would want to know about it, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think what we would love to know is, what is it that is most important to employers today? What are those transferable skills, but also what are the technical skills, right? What are the baseline that our clients need to know that we can support now? Like, we understand that for many of our clients, computer skills is one of those areas that we want to build on. It changes so fast, but so we work on those basics for sure. But if there are other things in certain specific industries, we'd love to hear about it.
Great. Well, please do let us know. We've had some task forces come together and help us know about the future of work and what to expect there. But that is beautifully an open invitation. So let us know what you need so that we can help provide it. I think the other piece that really you've talked about a little bit but we haven't gone into any real detail about, which is just, you have an incredible library at the resource of our clients, right? We talked about all these in-person workshops, but you also have a huge library of workshops that are available to do self-paced learning and to be, virtual. So is there anything you'd like to highlight about that? I mean, this is another, I think, asset that Working Wardrobes is able to provide to people outside of business hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, certainly during the pandemic, we were able to do a lot of workshops where we were recording them online. And so we're able to capture those, and many of those are still very relevant today. And so we've posted some of them on our website. So you can go to our website and register them for free. You get access to the link, and you can look at them at your leisure, right? So that's supportive. We're also building more. We're taking some of these workshops that we're doing in person, and we'll be recording them and having supplemental material that's going to build into the programming that we're doing with the clients. So
beautiful.
Bonni, can I add to that real quick? The amazing work doesn't stop at the client. Bianca has brought into the fold our own teammates to encourage them, to educate them, to even take these workshops themselves, to empower them with that same knowledge and information. So now they're with the client, talking about it confidently and encouraging them to really fill their toolbox of life with some more knowledge. It's going to be beneficial. So big shout out. Thank you very much for that.
Professional development inside and outside of the house. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, clearly we could talk all day about the incredible work we're doing. So I think I'm going to just take pause for a moment and invite all of you to participate in this mission. There are so many ways to get involved with Working Wardrobes, and there's no limit. So I'm going to highlight a few of them, and I hope you'll hear these as invitations or possibilities, and maybe they are for you, maybe they're for a friend. The first, of course, is to join the coalition. We have a Rebuilding Careers Coalition that is literally individuals and corporations who are taking a stand and saying, we believe in empowering individuals in our community with workforce development, this teach a person to fish concept. And you can join. It's either monthly or annual gift. You can scan that QR code and join. This year alone, the coalition will raise $250,000, which will provide services to 100 clients. So I invite you, if you haven't already, to join the coalition. We also have always the opportunity to participate in service members receiving service from Working Wardrobes, and that's the Guard, the Reserves, active duty, veterans, and of course their families. Leading into Memorial Day this year, we are, I think we're all thinking about our military often because we celebrate our freedoms often, and this is the conduit for that. So join us on May 24. We are hosting a virtual day of giving that is focused on only raising funds to support our military. We're calling this Operation Employment. And the mission is to help 75 veterans and military connected folks get our full wraparound services. We, of course, annually have a gala, and our gala this year will be on September 9th. So please make sure it's on your calendar. It'll be outdoors at the Turnip Rose, and we are going to be honoring Boeing, one of our incredible partners, and Justin Frame, a past chair of our board, an incredible volunteer. And I think he was in one of those pictures that we showcased from our Power Up for Success aboard Camp Pendleton. You can always, donate clothing, your time, expertise. Volunteering is always a possibility with Working Wardrobes, whether it's at a corporate social responsibility group or as an individual, as a coach, 12 coaches, right? Yeah. So we added 5 this year. It's incredible. If you don't mind just going back one more time, I'm going to talk about those tours, I promise. This is really our opportunity on a monthly basis. On the 3rd Thursday of each month at 4 p.m., we host tours of Working Wardrobes. And we like to think about it as what's behind the success suit, because most often people really don't know how robust the services are that we provide that are so far beyond that final touch, that success suit. And it does take donations. It takes donations of clothing to provide those success suits, it takes donations of volunteer time, expertise, whether it's leading a workshop, coaching someone one-on-one, offering yourself in a way that you have expertise to give. This is the QR code to scan and sign up. We have a platform that helps us navigate people who want to volunteer to opportunities to volunteer with Working Wardrobes. And if for any reason you don't see something that you are looking for there, we still want you to volunteer with us, of course. Yeah. So we will absolutely find a match for you. We were just recently talking about, we need a handy person to help just maintain our HVAC system and do just some small minor repairs. We have just a very, very broad need. So please lend your time to this incredible organization. And one of my favorites is, of course, shopping for a cause. And that is, we have 4 retail stores where you can shop, and 2 concepts. Our boutiques are in Laguna Niguel and Tustin, and they are more of our luxury brand, high-end items. And in Costa Mesa and Garden Grove are our outlets where you can find those incredible vintage treasures, but also men's, women's everyday wear and beautiful pieces that have been gently loved. But what is also not a well-known fact is that a lot of our clothing in the stores and in our wardrobing center for clients are brand new with tags. They're brand new because they've been donated by folks who had good intentions and never wore it. And they're also donated by retailers. And that's also an invitation to you. If you have excess inventory, we would be the most grateful recipients of it. So please consider accessories, sunglasses, briefcases, purses, belts, dresses, gowns, you name it. Shoes, Michael, the shoes, we need more shoes. Please direct those donations here. I am a little bit verbose today, so I'm going to just pause here and say to our audience, what questions do you have that we could answer? I know we've had a couple come in while we've been talking, so I'm going to ask our help here to hand us over a couple of these questions so that we can start answering those. But if you have more, please type them in and share with us what you'd like to know more about that we can answer. The first one I see here is, how can I refer someone to receive the services you provide? Bianca, you want to share with us what's the best way to come and get the help we're offering?
Sure, absolutely. Well, if you're a community partner and you have individuals in your program that you think could provide round out the services, you're welcome to connect with us. We'd love to partner, Michael certainly and his team, to connect, come visit and tour with us. We have a referral form that you can fill out, and one of our career navigators will reach out to them and connect them, invite them to come in and set them up for success. Individuals are welcome to come and call us, and you will get connected to the right person. And really, this is Michael's story here. We're connecting them with his team, and then kind of make their way over to the career development team. But through the front door, through community partners, we're here to help.
Yes. Thank you for highlighting that piece, because that's what I was hoping you were going to say, is that we can partner. We would love to partner. You know, last year alone, we partnered with over 185 agencies. That is mind blowing when you think about how many relationships that whole quote about, you know, it takes the village is alive and very well here at Working Wardrobes. And if you're seeking our services, the best way to refer a client is either the phone or the internet, right? workingwardrobes.org, or our phone number 714-210-2460. All right, I think we have time for probably just like 2 more questions. So can we get the next one? What is it, Bianca? I'm a former HR professional and I want to volunteer. How can I do that?
I would love for you to do so. There are so many ways. We say that we have 12 and we have fantastic coaches. Some of them are able to provide 1 day a month. So, you know, whatever your availability is, we will say yes to. So if you are interested and have an interest in coaching, doing mock interviews, or even just providing that feedback on the development side, again, working with me to be able to help figure out what are the things that we want to teach people. Maybe we want to work on some curriculum together. You could reach out to our volunteer page. So we posted that on the website. You can reach out to our volunteer coordinator, Amanda Fan, and absolutely be able to take care of us. But we have a lot of opportunity for this space to be able to do one-on-one client interaction for sure.
Yeah, we had that QR code too to volunteer where you can scan that. But same thing, you can, like you said, come through the front door. You're welcome to give us a call. Yep, absolutely. All right, one last question, just one more. In what industries are you seeing the most potential for employment? Oh, great question. Great question. Where are we seeing the highest potential for employment in industries? You know, Michael, you gave us a lot of data, and there were some industries that were growing. I heard you talk about hospitality, and I think we're seeing.
We are certainly, I mean, hospitality, I think is, really stands out. It is ever growing, especially rolling right out of COVID. There was a significant boost back in the industry, of course. Yeah. So the hospitality side of things, we certainly also see always a large uptick in the security industry as well. And that's not, that's everything from a lobby ambassador to working in the malls to being personal security, flying around on private jets for big name people. And it's an amazing, very lucrative and positive and professional industry. So we really see a balance and a strong balance, I should say, between those two. Those we serve align with those industries as well. So it's often an easy fit, and it's fantastic to get them right into the sheet.
Same. I think, hospitality certainly is growing. And I think that industry has, maybe there was a misnomer about like, what does that really mean? And coming from that industry myself, it gives you such a long time career, world of opportunities, really able, if we're looking for jobs that's going to take you far into the future, something like hospitality is really one of those great opportunities. So anytime we can introduce our clients to new industries and opportunities so they can learn more about it, I think helps. So yeah, it's a good one to highlight.
It's also interesting that it falls right back into that customer service piece, right? It becomes completely transferable skill. Well, we have unbelievably been together an hour. It has gone so fast. I'm so delighted to have shared this time with both of you. I am treasuring the time we get to work together. And most of all, thank you for making the world a better place and dedicating your career to doing so.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support, for your interest also in making sure that these wraparound services are available to everyone in our community. Our next Impact webinar will be not on May the 4th, be with you, but August 3rd at 2 p.m. We are delighted to share this time and space with you, and thank you so much for helping empower the clients that we have the opportunity to serve right here in Orange County. Thanks for doing this work with Working Wardrobes. We'll see you next time. Thank you.